are now on at 10:10. We are now on the presentations by our staff, Leisure Director Mr. Rick Durr for the Deer Run Golf Course and the Wekiva Golf Club due diligence update.
Good morning. For the record, Richard Durr, Leisure Services Director, and we're here today to talk about item number 18, or number 1 in your hearts, the Deer Run Wekiva Club update. I couldn't resist. I'm a big sports fan. We've got a pretty aggressive agenda here to go over the information that we've been working on since March the 9th when we met with you. Very briefly, just reminding everyone of what we're looking at. We're looking at about 137-ish acres within the Deer Run neighborhood. We looked at back in February, and this has not changed, so this is the same development program that we looked at back then, specifically to turn that property into a passive park. We looked at a number of development opportunities there, as well as stormwater improvements that could happen on the property. And again, this is the exact same list that we met with the public on back in February. So when we looked at what could be done on the property, we looked at the phase 1 items. So what could go in terms of a passive park, as well as rehabbing the clubhouse into a community building. But there are a couple of other considerations that we want to bring to the table. One tool that we did not have available to us when we did the Rolling Hills project was that the Florida Recreation and Parks Association, or FRPA, has constructed what's called an impact calculator. It's an online tool that's made available to member agencies throughout the state of Florida. We were fortunate enough to participate in the beta testing of this just a few years back. This tool has gone live, and one of the factors that you can use this for is to help at least determine what the overall effect of a park has on the property around it, specifically the residential property around it. It's based on Dr. James Crompton's, John Crompton's, work with Texas A&M University. He's been doing this research for decades. We actually used these calculations and this analysis when we formed the MSBU for the Rolling Hills property, of trying to determine what the outside boundary of that area is. And essentially what this says is that as you get closer to a well-maintained public park, you see an impact on the property values. And for those properties that are closest to the park, you can see as much as a 20% increase in property values just based on the proximity alone. It's called the proximity effect. So this particular tool, now that it was available for us to use, we went ahead and, again, being conservative, we just took the properties that are directly adjacent to the golf course itself, so some 200 plus properties, and plugged that into the calculator to see what could the effect be of converting that to a public park like we did at Rolling Hills on the property values. And overall, we're talking about an estimated $2.2 million incremental impact on property values in the conversion of this property. And obviously, when you have higher property values, as was talked about a little bit earlier during the trim discussion, obviously tax value goes up as well. So what could that possibly look like? So there, at least at this point, we're able to start to quantify and estimate what the overall impact may be on property values for those residents who live close by the former golf club. So that is additional information for Deer Run.
You know, I think this really is a wise move from this commission. We found during the pandemic, the use of our trails and parks went up 690%. 690% increase. People were cooped up in their homes. This would give us another ability, another area for folks to get outdoors, feed their soul, feed their mental health, get out and see some things without being cooped up inside. So, again, an opportunity knocks. A fool only does not pay attention when that knock comes.
What is your motion?
Motion to move forward with the MSBU at a 15-year calculation for the community, as well as moving forward with the acquisition of the properties known as Deer Run and Wekiva Golf Course.
Second.
Well, I think the commissioner.
already
I think Commissioner Delory had the second. Commissioner, are you still okay with the second?
I'm still okay with it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion among the commissioners? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen.
And Mr. Chairman, I'm out of M&Ms. Can we take a break?